Big Safe.
Fat Man Scoop, Brooklyn Clan. What's up, y'all? This is Fat Man Scoop. And right now, you watching the sensei, the #1, the king, my dude, Big Brando. He taught me, personally, me, Fat Man Scoop. All you gotta do is keep your mouth closed and your ears open. Listen to the man talk. That's knowledge personified right there, and I wouldn't trust nobody else but my dude, Big Brando. And I said it. Fat Man Scoop, Big Brando. Let's go!
What's happening, everybody? Boy Big Brando, and today let's talk about influencer marketing. Now, when I say that, I am talking about you creating a brand and saying, you know what? The way I'm going to sell this brand is I'm going to make some really dope t-shirts. I'm going to get this dope t-shirt onto this dope rapper. That rapper is going to wear it, share it, show his 10 million followers. His 10 million followers are going to now come to my website and buy all of my t-shirts. Easier said than done, but this is everybody's dream. Everybody thinks that this is how everything works. The harsh reality is it's not how it works. Does this method work for a lot of people? Yes and no. A lot of established brands can get their clothes on the people and use that as marketing. Very few up-and-coming brands can get their clothes on an established artist and then boom. A lot of times it might take a different type of connection to get that kind of ball rolling for your brand. But let's talk about you in the middle of the country. You're not in New York, you're not in Los Angeles, you're not in Texas, Atlanta, Florida, any of these bigger states that has a lot of influence. Let's say you're in the middle of the country. You have no connections to any entertainers. You're just a dude in your basement making dope t-shirts. So you need to get your t-shirts onto an influencer, whether it's an entertainer, we're talking rapper, musician, athlete, actor, whoever. It could be a social media person, it doesn't matter. But you need to get your clothes onto this person because your marketing strategy is leveraging their following to see your shirt or your hat or whatever product you're selling to bring awareness to the brand. What you have to remember is a lot of these celebrities and a lot of these entertainers and social media influencers get paid to do this. So to get somebody to do it for free is very hard in itself, but also you're up against a lot of these other bigger brands that are paying these influencers and celebrities and entertainers to wear clothes already. So you're stacked up against a lot of other obstacles outside of just getting your shirt to the entertainer. Now, let's say you do get that shirt to the entertainer. If the entertainer does not tag you in the post or send his following to your website to get the t-shirt or talk about your t-shirt, it's a hard sell. You got to now do the dirty work and get into the comments and say, anybody that's asking about the shirt, you got to say, hey, that's my shirt, come to my website, which is a hard sell in itself also. So you got to remember, if they're not fully endorsing your product and talking about your product, it's a hard sell. You could screenshot the pictures all you want and use it for your own marketing and saying, hey, look, this entertainer was wearing my shirt on this show or on their post. Check it out. This big entertainer was wearing my shirt. And that's cool. But not a lot of people are going to see that because if they're not already following you, it's going to be hard for you to get that going. With the power of TikTok and Reels and stuff like that, you have a little bit of a better fighting chance to get more eyeballs on it. But again, it's a shot in the dark. I know this because I fell into this trap before also. Until I figured out a way around all of that nonsense and start working with entertainers and celebrities on a more organic level and to make things work for myself. Also, I would like to highlight one of my OGs and somebody that really set the bar for a lot of streetwear brands coming up in Los Angeles from the 90s, and I'm talking about 110 South Streetwear. Rest in peace to the homie Eric Hirikani, but the way E did this thing was really dope, and the homie Raw Tunes does the same exact thing. He came up working with E and 110 South, so he incorporates a lot of that into what he does also. And what E used to do was he would get around certain entertainers, a lot of Los Angeles based rappers, and he created the really good connections of getting his shirts and stuff onto these artists, get photos with them, videos with them, all of that stuff. He endorsed a lot of dope rappers, especially on the West Coast, because 110 South is the main freeway that goes through Los Angeles. So one of the ill things that he used to do, and I used to really admire this technique, was, let's say, this is old school and this is dating myself also, let's say there's a rapper that's going to be signing autographs at Tower Records, and this is Tower Records, I don't even think is around anymore, and I don't even think artists do this anymore. But back then, like I said, 110 South started I think in 98. Back then what rappers used to do is if they had a new album coming out, they would go to these record shops and they would do signings. So if you wanted to buy the new album, you would stand in line, you would buy the album at this record shop, and then the rapper would be inside signing autographs. You could take a picture with him. The dope thing that E used to do was he would bring his 110 South streetwear t-shirts to these autograph signings. And when he would get the flick, he would get the rapper to hold up the shirt to take a picture. And then he would use that and get a lot of mileage out of those images. And this was starting to create a really crazy buzz because now you have all of these big name West Coast rappers with pictures holding up the t-shirt. He didn't have to pay the artist to do that. He was just like, all right, check it out. Come up in here, boom, hold up the shirt, get that flick, boom. Now you could run that everywhere. Now everybody could see that this rapper's holding up your shirt, right? It was a crazy move. But this is what I mean when I say thinking outside of the box, right? He was just putting in the work, going to all these autograph signings, and he would take that opportunity to get the 110 South t-shirt in front of any artist that he could find signing autographs, which led to really dope connections. And he had really crazy endorsements. Like almost every West Coast artist got down with 110 South, which was dope. And that's why I said it set the blueprint for a lot of people, because what he was doing was unheard of at that time. So now fast forward to the social media age on how I get celebrities and entertainers to rock with my clothing. And this is something that I still do till this day. I don't leverage my YouTube celebrity. I contact entertainers through my brand's pages. So the clothing brands that I do run, I'll DM them from that page and I say, hey, check it out. I really love your music. I respect what you do. I respect your hustle. I respect what you do for the city. I respect the way you carry yourself. I'm not asking for anything from you, but I make these t-shirts and I make these hats, and I would love to send you a box. I'm not asking you to post about it, tag me, shout me out, none of that. I want to send you some of this gear on the strength of my respect for you. If you like anything you see, all I need from you is a P.O. box or address to mail it to and your size. That's it. So two things happen here. One, I'm not asking this celebrity or entertainer for anything. I'm offering all the value. I'm saying I want to send you some free stuff. Don't shout me out. Don't tag me in the post. Don't talk about my brand. What this does is it sets you aside from everybody else that's saying, hey, shout me out. Hey, can you wear this on your next video shoot? Can you tag me in a post? Can you talk about my brand? Blah, blah, blah. Everybody's asking for something from this celebrity. Here you are on the other side, not asking for nothing. You're actually giving value. You're saying, hey, I want to give you some free stuff and I don't want you to say anything about it. I just want to give you some stuff. Now, the second part to this is they are looking at your products. If they actually get down with your products and they like what they see because you sent them a picture of what your t-shirts and hats look like, now they send you the address. If they respond back with the address and their size and say, hey, thanks for reaching out, blah, 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 you could send it here, here's my size, that means they genuinely like your products. They looked at it, they said, hey man, this is cool, man, I'd wear this. They took the time to send you a P.O. box or address to send the stuff to. Now what ends up happening? They get that box in the mail. Because your interaction was so positive with this person, they naturally unbox it on their Instagram live or their Instagram story. They naturally wear the clothes and say, hey, shout out to this dude sending these shirts, tagging you in the picture. They naturally wear the stuff because they actually like it. Why is that? Because you're not paying them to wear some bullshit. You're not paying them to talk about your brand. They're doing it organically and naturally. They looked at your photos of your products and said, hey, that looks cool. Yeah, send it to me. Here's my address. Here's my size. There's already a general interest in your product. And now that you said don't post about it, don't hit me up, you're not asking them to do it. Now they do it organically. Naturally, they just say, hey, check it out. I got this package in the mail. Check out this dope hat that so-and-so sent me. They do it naturally because you ask them not to do it. Whether it's reverse psychology, whether it's a sleazy way and coming in through the back door to get your stuff seen. But this is how you get your clothes into the hands of your favorite celebrity in hopes that they talk about it and show it. This is something I do till this day. I've been doing this for years. When I first got on Patreon, I was showing screenshots of every celebrity interaction I had with whatever brand I was running. There's images on Getty Images of rappers and DJs and celebrities wearing my clothes at events that now I have mileage of endless content to post on my brand's pages. But this is how I do it. I don't never show my face. I don't never say, hey, I'm Big Brandon from YouTube. Can you wear my clothes? No, I don't say none of that. I do it from the brand's page, speaking for the brand only. And the reason this works is because you're not asking the entertainer for anything. That's the beauty of this whole thing. When everybody else is asking the entertainer for something, you're over here not asking for anything. And that's what sets you apart from everybody else. One of the homies from the Patreon, I forget his name, but I think his brand was called Nasty or something like that. He took this same method and he went straight to a bunch of porn stars and did the same method of doing DMs, sending products, showing the products in the DMs of porn stars, male and female. And next thing you know, all of his shirts and hats are ending up in the back of these Pornhub videos. He was sending screenshots to Patreon and to the Facebook group. It was crazy, but he took the same strategy that I'm using and he applied it to what worked for him. There's so many people on the Patreon and in the Facebook group that use this method and it works for them. And it's crazy because once again, we're not asking anything from anybody. All we're doing is saying, hey, we want to send you some stuff. And I would say 90% of the time, it makes it onto that celebrity's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, whatever they're using, it ends up on there. And that's because you're not asking for anything, you're just providing value. You know what I mean? This is how I do things. This is how I do my influencer marketing. Does that mean that that influencer is sending all of their people to your website? No. You get a few sales here and there. Some of them boom, some of them don't. If you really have a banger of a product, that thing really moves. But for brand awareness, for making positive connections, this is how I do things, all right? I hope this video helps somebody out there. I know there's a lot of people that think it's just a straight shot first class ticket to stardom and to being rich, but it doesn't work that way. You have to find other ways of getting your products into the hands of the people that you want, that have some sort of influence in the market you want to be in. This is just one of my methods on what I do and how I do things. And I've tested this in a lot of different music genres. I've tested this with a lot of different entertainers and it always works. But it's a numbers game. I don't want to say every celebrity you hit up is going to react the same way. One, your product has to be cool and the celebrity has to like your product. But then also it's a numbers game. The more people you hit up, the better your chances are. That's all it is. But remember, don't ask the entertainer or celebrity or anything. Don't ask them for anything because they don't owe you nothing. You know what I mean? So the more that you just say, hey, look, I want to do this for you, the more inclined they'll be like, all right, you know what, entertain the offer or entertain your products. And by you sending pictures of your products, and if they genuinely like it, at least you have an entertainer looking at your products and co-signing that, hey, that does look cool, man, I'd wear that. Then when you see them wear it, easy call. You didn't have to pay for it. You didn't have to pay them to do it and wear it and talk about it. They did it naturally. That's what matters most to me. All right, hopefully this helps somebody out. I know this is a recycled video and I made videos about this in the past, but I also know not a lot of people go back and watch the old videos. If you got any questions, leave it in the comments. And if your questions are going to be, well, what brand? I want to see how you're doing this, blah, blah. I don't give out any brands that I own and operate currently. I don't give up that information because a lot of you guys kind of weird when it comes to that, and you jump onto my brand page and then you just start getting in the comments talking about YouTube related stuff. I don't want you guys messing up my money, so I never share the brands that I own and operate on YouTube because I keep those things separate from each other. But if you looked hard enough, you would really know and understand what brands I operate and what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. But I keep my brands and my actual businesses way separate from what I do on YouTube. All right, follow me on Instagram if you wanted to, Big Brando TV. Catch you guys on the next one, man. Yeah.